When I ask women what's the one thing that you would like to change about menopause, most of them, or a lot of them, have a very hard time pinning it down to just one thing. It's like the symptoms are so overwhelming that you can't even separate all the things that are happening. Most of them say, I just want it to stop, or something along those lines. And I'm finding that anxiety is underneath all of it for so many women. It's the most common and most overlooked symptom of menopause. Some people don't even know that the anxiety is due to menopause. I know when I experienced anxiety during menopause, perimenopause, I had no idea. I didn't know it was related at all. I had never heard of it. I thought menopause was just my periods will stop and I might have hot flashes, and that's it. Well, now I know better. So today, I'm sharing with you two, yes, just two, kick-ass tips to stop menopause anxiety in its tracks. Step one is empower yourself. I know, that doesn't probably seem like a step to you. That doesn't seem like an action. But guess what? It's super important. You have to take control. Empower yourself. Empower yourself with knowledge, with understanding what is going on with your body, and with making decisions from an educated place, not from a place of feeling like a victim, like I have no choice in the matter. Like if natural solutions are important to you, then decide that, make that choice, empower yourself to find and explore options that will work for you, aligned with your values, with what you find important. Don't be at the mercy of everybody else telling you what worked for them or what you need to do. You decide, take control, educate yourself. This is one of my 12 core strengthening principles, my personal core strengthening principles. It's personal responsibility, and it is the flip side of being a victim. Now, we don't always control what happens in our world, right? But we do control how we respond to it. We can choose to react and just go with the flow and let everybody else make all the decisions. We can choose to suffer. We can choose to stay in bed all day because we don't know what else to do. Or we can choose to empower ourselves and decide to get the information that we need, get the knowledge that we need, even if it seems overwhelming, even if it's difficult to deal with when you already feel like your body's betraying you, you have brain fog, you're sleep deprived, you're anxious, you feel restless. You can still say, okay, this is happening, and I can either succumb to it and give in and just let it control me, or I can choose to say, you know what? I am not going to let this control me. I am going to take control and I am going to empower myself. I see many women who feel like they don't have any choices here. Like there's only one course of action that they can take and they're stuck with it. Or maybe there's two courses of action. You can either go on meds that maybe you don't want because natural solutions are important to you, or you can suck it up and power through. But that's not true. Those are not the two options. There are natural solutions that work if that's something that matters to you. I did it. I didn't take it lying down. I was thrown off at first at different stages of menopause by different things. And every time I said, okay, what can I do about this? I educated myself and I figured out ways to deal with it all pretty much naturally. I took CBD for 18 months for the migraines, and that worked. That's the only supplement that I ever have taken for menopause this whole entire time. If you decide you're going to take it lying down, you might have to power through for a decade or longer. I know women who are in their 60s who are having symptoms return again. So having some tools in your tool belt is a good thing. Empower yourself. And that's the action, is making that choice. You're going to decide, you know what? This is not okay. I am not going to live like this. I'm going to figure something out. And I remember that moment for myself. when I was feeling just lethargic and depressed. I didn't want to get out of bed. I didn't want to do anything. I felt like I had no passion for life anymore. I had no passion for anything I was doing anymore. And I decided, hey, this is not how I want to live. And I said, that's it. I'm going to make some changes. And I did. And if I can do it, you can too. I'm not that special. I promise you. Okay? You're just as special as I am. So you can do it too. Which door do you choose? Door number 1, where you let it take over you, you succumb to it, and you just suffer through the next decade or so. Or door number 2, you put your big girl panties on and you let me guide you. Take that door. Let's go. If you're taking door number 2, the second step is to think outside the box. In fact, think as if there is no box. Be open-minded so that you can discover ways to deal with this that maybe are a little off the beaten path. If you like to go against the grain like I do, then you are definitely in the right place with me, girl. So let's do this. Think outside the box, but there's not even a box. There are so many different options for dealing with menopause and perimenopause. There's not just one way. There's no cookie cutter, one size fits all for everybody. You know, I see so much controversy over things like HRT. Some people are so for it, and some people are so against it. And guess what? You're all right. If it's for you, great. Take it. It's for you. If it's not for you, explore other options. There's no box. There is no one size fits all. That's how this world is. That's how menopause is. You don't have to go along with the crowd. You can do something different. You can do it your way and still get results. I did. There are infinite ways to deal with menopause and the anxiety and all the other symptoms. I remember when I was a kid, I saw this show, like a That's Incredible or something like that, and they had these yogis on that were controlling their body so much that they were able to slow their breathing and their heart rate to the point where it seemed like they were dead. And I was fascinated by their ability to do this using nothing but the power of their mind. I'm now fascinated with the power of the mind over the body. That just shows you the potential of what is possible. It proves that our bodies are capable of way more than we give them credit for. You know, you're dealing with menopause and you feel like your body is betraying you. But guess what? You actually can control some of that. You have the potential to control some of that within you because we all have the same innate capabilities. Those yogis didn't have some special innate capability that was some kind of magical power to be able to do that. They just learned to control their autonomic nervous system. That's this part of your nervous system that controls things like your breathing and your heart rate and your liver function and like all the stuff that's happening in your body in the background that you don't have to think about consciously. You can tap into that. We're one whole being. It's not like we don't have control over that because it's still part of us. It's still part of our brain. It's still part of our system. Science has shown a connection to mindfulness meditation and lower cortisol levels. That is you controlling your body. That means when you do certain types of meditation, your cortisol levels, cortisol is a hormone, and it is known as the stress hormone because it increases under times of increased stress. That cortisol level can go down when you are doing certain kinds of mindfulness meditations. That there is taking a control over your autonomic nervous system. That is a perfect example of it. So, what else can you control? Start expanding your view of what's really possible. And make that choice for yourself. Don't limit yourself to what people tell you is the right path or was the right path for them. Everyone has a different value system. Everyone has different desires and preferences. We're all unique in our own way. And there are infinite ways to deal with this. So start thinking outside the box. that there's not even a box when it comes to your potential solutions for menopause symptoms, menopause anxiety.